right, now that you've gotten some practice with this writing equation stuff, it is time to use those equations. Okay, so let's actually see if we can take these equations, and I'm just going to use the examples that I used above, and I'm going to use the equations. So let's go back real quick to example number 2. So remember, example number 2 was Mr. Green receives $60 in Starbucks gift cards for Christmas, then spends $5 a day on a handcrafted drink. Okay, so that was, and then remember I came up with this equation, y equals negative 5x plus 60. Okay, so I'm going to start with writing, and look, I'm just doing examples here. So here what I'm doing is I'm going to use these equations. So I'm just going to show you how, right? We're just going to take example notes, nothing else. So, but I'm going to take, so example number 2 was y equals negative 5x plus 60. And why? Because Mr. Gain started with $60, and then he's losing $5 each day, because he's buying a handcrafted drink each day, right? So now what I want you to think about is how I can use this equation. Because this right here, this x represents days. Because think about it, right? This here and this y represents how much money he has on the gift card. Because look, let's say after 2 days, think about what we would do, right? This would be a 2. That'd be negative 5 times 2, that's negative 10. What does that represent? Well, that represents he spent $10, right? He spent $5 the first day, he spent $5 the second day. So now he spent $10, negative 5 times 2 is negative 10, plus 60. Okay, well, negative 10 plus 60 is the same as 60 minus 10, so that's 50. So after 2 days, he would have $50. Why? Because he started with 60 and then he spent $5 each day. So this is how we can use these equations. Now, if I said how much does he have after 2 days, you would just like figure it out, right? But what if I asked, how much gift card will Mr. Gain have after 8 days? Well, then you could use this equation and you could say, okay, well, I'm going to plug in 8 right here for the number of days, right? And look what's going to happen. Negative 5 times 8. And why does this make sense? Because each day he's going to lose $5. So 8 times he's going to lose $5, right? 8 times he's going to lose $5. So what's the result of that? Well, let's do my multiplication. The result of that is that he's going to, at some point over those 8 days, right, lose $40. That's negative 40. And look, I'm just doing algebra here, right? This we know how to do. When we evaluated functions, this is very much like this. Okay. Now, what's going to happen? Well, he spent $40, but look, he started with 60. So let's go ahead and do this math. This is negative 40 plus 60. That's 20. So what's going to happen after 8 days? And we're going to write a sentence here. After 8 days, right, we're answering this question. How much gift card will Mr. Gain have left after 8 days? After 8 days, Mr. Gain will have 20 what? What is this? 20 what? Well, let's see. Why was the amount of money on his card, right? So let's use the dollar sign here. We'll have $20 left. Okay, so notice what I did. I was asked, okay, after 8 days, so I plugged in 8, and then I just did the math. Okay, let's do another example. So remember example number 3 that we worked on was about me and my tie-dye shirts. I bought t-shirts and dyes and rubber bands for $70, right? And then I made shirts for $10 a piece. So remember we came up with that the starting point was negative 70 because I spent 70. The rate of change was 10. And then my equation was y equals 10x minus 70. So let's copy this down. Y equals 10x minus 70. So now here's my follow-up question. How much profit will Ms. Broderick make by selling 30 shirts? Okay. Well, in this case, right, my x is my number of shirts. Why? Because however many shirts I sell, that's the number I'm going to multiply by 10. Because each time I sell a shirt, right, it's $10. So if I sell 5 shirts, that's 5 times 10, $50, right? And then this is the amount of money I have. This is my profit. And notice, like, if I put a 0 right here, right, that's 10 times 0, that'd be 0. That's y equals negative 70. So if I sell 0 shirts, I'm in the hole $70, right? Because I spent $70. But I want to know how much profit will I make by selling 30 shirts. So I'm going to plug in 30 into x. Right? So if I sell 30 shirts and they're $10 a piece, I'm going to do my multiplication now. I'm going to make $300. Okay, but now remember, I spent $70, so we still have to subtract that. And notice I'm just doing the math here, right? I'm just doing my multiplication, doing my subtraction. So 300 minus 70 is 230. Okay, so let's answer in a sentence here. If Miss Broderick sells 30 shirts, sells 30 shirts, she will make $230 in profit. Remember, and profit means like how much I have after I've spent everything I need, right? Like you could sort of say like, oh, well, 30 shirts, I make $300. Well, not really though, right? Because I had to spend the 70. So profit means how much you make after you take away all your expenses, your costs, right? So this is what you're going to do next. You're going to be given the same kind of deal as before, but now you're going to have a follow-up question and you're going to have to plug in and figure it out.